Welcome back to Mystery Woman Knowledge. I'm Sam Beer, and I use the term dinosaur loosely. Here to yell at me about that is dinosaur enthusiast Tori Hirsch.
No,
What
it's
are
not.
we talking about what are we talking about
That
this
was
week,
such a
Tori?
great opening. No, it's not that you use the term loosely. You use it inaccurately. It infuriates me. This week we're talking about the post-Asukas P controversy.
Wait,
Um,
you never told me
we'll
what
get
that
to
word
it.
was. Okay.
Okay, we'll get to it. Don't worry, don't worry. I'll explain everything.
Welcome
We're
back to
gonna
the
start off.
podcast where neither of us know what we're talking about.
I did so much research. Please give me more credit than that. Okay, have you ever seen Walking with Dinosaurs? I'm pretty sure
No.
I sent you like a clip or two of it a while ago. I don't know if you watched it, but
Uh,
um, it aired on BBC and it was a series. It was a show that came out in 1999. It was created by Tim Haynes, and he thought it would be cool if he created a dinosaur documentary. Which would be really neat. And he went out and he filmed like these really wide angle shots of landscapes, and then he took some like animatronic dinosaurs and just put them in there, or puppets, and put them in there. And people were like, "This is really cool. You should go for it and you should create this." So they were initially testing out the animatronic dinosaurs, but they wanted to show dinosaurs that were huge and to scale and like really impressive. So they wanted them to be like actual CGI dinosaurs. So they reached out to Industrial Light and Magic, who did the dinosaurs for Jurassic Park, and they wanted, do you know how much money they wanted for these dinosaurs?
Big bitch money. Or
This is in
$4
1999. They wanted $10,000 per second. They
per
did
second?
per second.
That's that Star Wars money.
Yeah. Yeah, and BBC just went absolutely nuts. They were like, we're not giving this much money to your dinosaur documentary.
I respect that.
Yeah, which is fair. So they got somebody um called a Frame Store to do it, and they're a company that are in the UK. So obviously, as paleontology progresses and we gain new knowledge and information, there are a lot of things that are going to be incorrect. Like you don't watch super old footage, not footage, but that would be impossible. Super old videos of dinosaurs that they did.
We've gone
Um,
back in time with the BBC to film dinosaurs in their natural habitats.
no, no. But what's like I'm thinking of we watched a video once of a dinosaur. What was its name? Gertie or something?
Oh yeah, the fucking
Yeah.
the original the like interactive animation Gertie.
Yes. So if you look at Gertie, her tail drags on the ground, and we know that that wouldn't be the truth now, but that's a good example of
Like a
like,
cape.
yeah, yeah. Like, but it's a great example of how throughout time, as we learn more and we progress, a lot of things that we once cherished or had really good intentions are going to be incorrect. And this show is one of them. And I just wanted to say that because I think it's important for me to establish how much I love this show, but how incorrect it was every once in a while. An example of this in the show is there aren't any feathers added to any of the dinosaurs, which there should have been at least a few of them. But at the time, they didn't have that information about feathers that we do now. Um, but adding fur and feathers added to the cost of the design of the dinosaurs, so that could have been a reason why they didn't at least like dabble with the feathers. I'm not sure.
No.
No, you think they were
Dude,
just like, nah.
no one thought that dinosaurs everyone was like chickens or a dinosaur. But that was like a joke for whatever amount of time. But no
I
one
don't think it was a joke,
really
but
because
no,
okay, if you
no,
say
yeah,
so, because everyone was just like, oh, chickens are T-Rexes. Oh, wow. You know what I mean? No one was
yeah.
actually like, dinosaurs definitely fucking had feathers and hair and shit. Everyone was just like, pig lizard.
Sure, it's interesting because I get to modern archosaurs, which are birds and crocodilians, later in my notes. But um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if at the time they just thought it was like,
How did you take. Okay, so background knowledge here. Tori forgot that we podcast every other week. and took her notes in like 45 fucking minutes. How
Well,
did
no,
you
I had.
how did you get so many notes on so many fucking
It's
types of
really not that
dinosaurs?
many. No, I'm already like halfway through it.
What's the fucking speed reader? If you needed whatever. Anyway,
No, I don't know. I had this idea in my head for a while because I thought it was interesting, and I loved walking with dinosaurs as a child. Um, I was thinking about this in my head for a while, and then I scribbled down all these notes. But yeah, but there were a lot of inaccuracies in the show.
factual research by Tori Hirsch as
Truly,
a 4-year-old who loved dinosaurs.
as a yes, this is. I feel like my whole life has been leading to this moment.
Episode 3 of an unknown podcast. My life has
um,
led me here.
there were a lot of inaccuracies in the show. There were some that weren't that important. Like I think the feathers at the time, like that's not super important. But there were some dinosaurs where they like lied about how big they were, or they based how big this might have been on according to like they had um this massive underwater creature, and I know the name in my head, but I'm not going to say it because I think I'm going to mispronounce it.
Is it Nessie?
um
But not
No,
Nessie.
it's not Nessie. He was massive, and he
That
well, I
thing
mean,
that
not as
ate
massive as I
like
grew up thinking he was.
that thing that ate like megalodon or whatever. Wasn't there like a big, scary
Yeah.
tooth boy?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it was. But I think in the show they
See, I know
told
dinosaurs.
viewers.
Guess what?
Yes, exactly.
We got the water lads,
The water.
and you got the wing boys.
Yeah. Well, no, they're not dinosaurs, Sam. That's what we
Fuck.
opened with. Was you being incorrect about this?
I'm
No,
never
they're
wrong.
pterosaurs, and pterosaurs aren't necessarily
Pterosaurs.
considered dinosaurs.
What's a
Yes.
dinosaur?
What is a dinosaur?
A
God, I
big,
don't know.
big boy.
Big boy. Is that that's the only defining factor of a dinosaur? Why don't you try and define a
I
dinosaur with
am a
more than
dinosaur.
I'm a dinosaur?
I have hair. I am large, tall as fuck, strong as fuck, eat meat, investigate noise. That's me, dinosaur.
hmm Yeah, no, that's fair. That's all you need.
IQ of 2, dinosaur.
IQ of
How smart were dinosaurs? Oh, sorry,
2. Actually.
pterosaurs.
Well, no.
Oh,
Dinosaurs weren't all that intelligent.
nice.
They did have kind of the same intelligence that a chicken would have, but there was one dinosaur who it had the biggest brain mass to body ratio, and it was considered to be the most intelligent dinosaur. And they
Ah,
think that if
yes,
it
the Jimmy Neutronus.
the Trudon, and I think that people think that if
Thank you.
if people
I thought that one was funny,
okay,
but
the paleontologist. Oh my god, I don't know. They think that if the Trudon had evolved with us, like if they weren't extinct, if they somehow survived the meteor and they kept on living,
like
they would have
Nessie,
been. Yes, yes. They would have been as intelligent as us today.
like dolphins.
And that is partly where the whole lizard people theory comes from. Is those
They're in our
dinosaurs.
government. Oh, fuck, I
Yep.
just spilled root beer on myself. Thank you. Anyway, lizard people
Anyway,
come from. What did they look like? There's no way they look like boys with scales.
they look like you close your eyes, you imagine a dinosaur. Like that's what it looked like. A real standard. Look like a big lizard.
Big lizard!
Yeah.
Like a Komodo dragon,
Mm-hmm.
but big?
Yes.
So alligator.
Um.
Alligators are lizard people. More at 11.
No. so hard this episode.
Because you love dinosaurs.
Oh my god.
This is your first hyperfixation
This is
episode.
it. This is it.
Everything I say about dinosaurs, you laugh at or scream at me for, so.
Well.
Well,
Where
you're
was
either wrong or you're funny, so.
I? God, that's like your motto with everything in life. Where was I in my notes? Yes. So, we were talking about, I think it's the Leopleurodon, but I don't think that I'm saying it correctly. But that was the dinosaur that they thought was absolutely massive.
Yeah.
So
I
they
know that one.
found,
I don't know much about it,
yeah,
but I know
they
that
found
one.
some remains, and they were like, oh, we think that this dinosaur was 83 feet long, I think is what they said. But
What?
the remains that they found,
It
the
was just
site was
like, was it
incomplete.
just like a rib cage? And they
It
were
was,
like,
yeah, it was like
whoa.
one bone, and they were like, I
Nice.
think he was massive. Yeah, and it turns
Fuck.
out like they think that maybe he wasn't nearly as big,
It was like
and
30
that
feet
he ended
long. He just had like a
no,
one really.
it was just one long bone.
Like a really shitty snake.
Oh my god. I can imagine they pick up this bone and they're like, wow, he must have been huge. They're like, that was the whole thing.
It's just like a D&D monster.
Oh my god.
like a really fucked up worm.
Oh god. But they think he was 20 something feet.
Hey,
Like,
me
compare
too.
that to 80s. Compare that to 80 something. Like, there were some things that the show got a little bit inaccurate. Like, anyone could have made this mistake. But, like, that? A difference of 60 feet?
Yeah, but they didn't know shit. When was this made? The
Well,
80s?
you know what? They knew enough, and there were a few things that they did that were, like, purely for the drama of the
Like
show.
every
There were
TV show.
There's so much there's so much, like, violent paleontology debate surrounding the show, and I read something really funny, and I don't remember what it was, but it was a paleontologist that was like, "They are willing to burn the facts and burn paleontology for the
See,
dramatization of their show,"
that's
and I was
the
like,
thing with science boys. As someone who is almost a science boy,
"What?" Mhm.
they cannot take a joke. Take the
Yes,
fucking,
well,
just,
the
don't,
show
it's,
wasn't a joke.
what? I thought it was a
They
children's show
No!
with fun.
No,
I
it
was out
was
here
no.
picturing fucking, like, Barney or some shit.
No!
I'm
Oh,
not
I'm
like,
sorry, I should have clarified.
yeah.
No, it was like it was supposed to be a documentary with dinosaurs.
Oh.
Yeah, so they wanted it to be almost like you turn on Planet Earth, as we previously discussed, and you're watching Planet Earth and David Attenborough's narrating it. This was like the same as that. Was you would watch some
David
dinosaur
Attenborough was a.
behavior. No, he wasn't. That would have been awesome. I don't think he didn't narrate that.
He wouldn't stoop to such levels.
No, he wouldn't. No, this was very cool when it came out, and it was really neat,
Oh,
despite all the
very cool.
controversy. Yeah,
Oh,
this
wait, so
lives in the
who.
hearts of.
Wouldn't a documentary have to be, like, signed off on by
So
the.
yeah, like
Okay, we're
consultants and
not,
stuff.
British, so
Mhm,
we don't know how factually
mhm.
sicko mode the fucking BBC is, but.
Yeah.
So I know there's like 37,000 channels of BBC now, but
Mhm.
that's all I know. So I don't. I would assume though. I was gonna say like Discovery, but Discovery's taking a downward spiral turn. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, pre-mermaid documentary Discovery or Animal Planet. Wouldn't it have
Yeah.
to be like signed off on by like an animal knower,
So they
an
did have like
MK?
consultant paleontologists on the show.
So what were they fucking consulting?
There were a bunch of things. Well, after all the controversy, the show came out. There was like the main consultant that they had that came out and argued with a lot
Was
of the
like, I don't actually have a doctorate.
accusations. Yeah, he was like, I've never seen this in my life. What's a dinosaur?
That's not my actual name. And he
No.
like pulls off a fucking cape and it twirls around in a circle. And he's
Hmm.
just like a hobo.
Oh my god.
Like a anyway.
Anyways. So,
Paint a
another
picture of
bit
something.
another bit of controversy surrounding the show was Postosuchus.
Who?
And not Postosuchus was a dinosaur. And like another tiny bit of controversy that they had in the show concerning Postosuchus was its bipedalism, and they weren't sure that if it was on two legs or if it was on four. And that was debated for a really long time.
Like
And
when they were like T-Rex bends over versus stands up. Was that
yeah,
sort of
except
okay?
he was weirdly shaped, so his arms were like longer than a T-Rex's, so he
Slender.
could have he
A
could have
Tory
walked on
Hirsch
all fours if he
ancestor.
wanted to.
Oh, I didn't
But
know.
he had he had these massive pectoral muscles, which
A
suggested
buff as fuck.
which suggested that he could indeed walk on all fours. Um, but I guess now scientists and paleontologists have kind of come to the conclusion that he did walk on two legs. But that was debated for a really long time. But believe it or not, the that controversy was not the biggest controversy surrounding this creature. The biggest controversy was the Postosuchus pee controversy. Um, and what happens in this shot is they show him peeing, and
We
they
have no
don't.
footage of this.
We have no footage of
Don't
this.
look for it.
You can find it.
Okay, look
Um,
for it, just not here.
look for it, please. As soon as this podcast ends, go onto the internet and look it up. But they show him peeing, and it's not like vague. Um, it's not kind of up in the air about what he's doing. Like they say that he's urinating. And it's a really long shot, and they talk about it. And I don't know why it's so
What
long.
the fuck?
I don't know why it's such a big. Yeah, I'm not sure. But
Okay.
anyways, um, it became a controversy because people weren't sure that the Postosuchus would actually be urinating because modern archosaurs, which are
Did
birds,
not pee.
crocodilians, they don't pee. Yeah, they
Oh,
expel all of their waste at
I
once
thought it was gonna be a funny
as more
banger.
solid
But
uric acid. No, you were correct. um, now
this is a
it's like
story all about how
I didn't realize how controversial the do dinosaurs pee question really is until I looked into this. But that was the argument that the critics had towards this scene was that modern archosaurs don't pee. So why would dinosaurs? Because they were thinking like in
evolution,
terms of
baby.
lineage. Yeah. Um, but there's evidence of non-avian dinosaurs urinating. But the one thing that all
How?
of these well the one thing that all of these paleontologists cite is this one site that had a
That pea
shape.
lake in the middle.
No, it was a shape in the sand that was shaped like a tub, and it looked like pee had dropped from about dino height. So
Dino height is such a non standard
I
measurement.
know, but they thought that the only way
Dino
that
height
any
pea.
liquid could have fallen from that height was a dinosaur, and that's like
It's my new band name.
widely regarded as the site to go to when trying to
To
defend the
study
dinosaur's pee.
dinosaur pee
Yeah.
is one
Is that
place.
single site that's just like a hole in the ground? They're like, I think something peed here because
Some dude could have just been like, some
some
dinosaur.
dude.
Some dude. Alright, casual Sam. Let's try and use the word dinosaur. Like some
Mhm,
dinosaur or other known consorts of the dinosaur,
mhm,
which there's like 84, and you'll recite them if I ask.
mhm.
Um, Could have just been like a mouthful water, spit him out. Could have vomited.
That's I don't know.
Can a
I don't
dinosaur
understand.
vomit?
Like, why couldn't have
Check
that
in
been
next week.
anything else? We don't know what was there.
Exactly.
I don't know. It seemed really, I don't know,
Could have just
really
jumped
huge reach. Yeah.
like a hop.
And so that is the only evidence that's kind of presented in defense of dinosaurs did pee.
That
Michael
one spot.
Benton. Yeah, that one spot in Colorado. That's like
Of course,
a
it's
little hole in the
Colorado.
ground. Yeah.
Fucking. Wasn't there like so many dinosaurs in that area though that they keep finding?
I don't know. I mean, I think so.
Isn't like that part of the United States like
Yeah.
Dino Mecca?
Mhm.
So then, how do they know it wasn't just like something like threw their prey down and then picked it back up and walked away?
I really don't know.
I become
I
a
don't know how,
paleontologist. Listen here, walking with dinosaurs.
like, paleontologists are almost certain that had to be liquid and it had to be dinosaur pee. And
Anything can
I
be
was
liquid if
reading
you
it, and I
throw
was
it hard
kind of
enough.
like, a dinosaur threw his prey at Mach speed towards the ground.
Well, we don't know.
It just liquefied.
We thought that they were just lizard people until like 20 years ago. So
I guess, yeah. Anyways, Michael Benton.
had the T-Rex had the neck strength of a fucking of a super plane
It was absolutely massive.
of a United States like top secret plane.
Yeah. Anyways,
sorry, I'm autistic.
Michael Benton. We're never gonna get through this. There's only a little bit left. It's the teeniest tiniest bit. Michael Benton. Remember when you asked earlier
No.
if there was a consultant?
Yes.
Yes,
I do.
this was the consultant. His name was Michael Benton.
Never trust
He was
Michael.
a paleontologist from the UK, and he actually had a dinosaur named after him.
The Bent machine.
Yeah, that's true.
What was it?
He was because I don't.
Oh, fuck him.
I
What
don't
was
know. I don't remember what it was. I think it was something real edgy, like Bentonyx or something.
Nice.
That's what it was.
Like a workout? Nice. It's a workout machine.
Mm-hmm.
Shaped like a dinosaur.
Get it shaped like have a massive neck so you can throw things as fast as you can. Anyways, he was a consultant on the series, and he actually came out and said, "Nobody can prove me wrong," which I think is a ballsy thing to say. But he said, "Nobody can prove this is wrong, that this is inaccurate."
And then he went home and his wife, like, punched him in the face. Bullied him.
He came out and he said, this can't be inaccurate, seeing that urination is the primitive state for tetrapods and perhaps basal archosaurs.
Who?
So I don't. I don't know. I don't know.
Watching
why
the waveform, watching the waveform pause and like shrink, and then you just go. so fucking funny. I don't know why.
Anyways, Michael Benton was defending himself and the integrity of the series that came out. And so all of this information led me to the question: do dinosaurs pee? I just googled it because I was like, do they? Like, have we?
Some of them had
an answer yet?
Wait, are we talking about like the real scientific term dinosaur, or are we just talking about the generalized they're all dinosaurs?
Generalized dinosaurs. Well, yeah. Specifically here, maybe we could be referring to non-avian dinosaurs. Only because we're
Birds
less sure about them.
Sorry,
I'm not sure if all birds do this, but ostriches, who I'm going to reference,
sexually attracted to humans. A fun
fact.
Fun fact about ostriches. Sorry. Anyway, you know how it be.
Yep.
Anyway,
Anyways, um, ostriches have a cloaca, and so they
bless you.
excrete all of their waste from there. But do you remember?
Hmm.
This was like just recently. This just happened this year, and it was just a bit ago. Do you remember in the news seeing the article that was like, "We found a dinosaur's butthole and it's perfectly preserved"?
Yeah, and there was that like drawing, that like super professional drawing
Dinosaur.
of a dinosaur turned around and its butthole was in the air. And it
Yeah, and
was
there was
looking
another
back at
dinosaur
the
looking at it.
Triceratops. I don't know what it was. I don't
Yeah,
remember what the butthole dinosaur was, but I
yeah.
remember that it was a Triceratops, and it was like
Mm.
super fucking thrilled to be seeing a butthole. Yeah, right.
Yes.
That's the reason I remember it, because it popped up on my Google recommended reads, and I was like, who the fuck?
God. Um, yeah. So that story, um, because up until like literally just now, whenever that came out, we didn't know if dinosaurs had a cloaca
Okay,
because I mean nothing was ever preserved and we weren't sure. Paleontologists had assumed that they did
okay.
just based on their relation to modern archosaurs and everything, evolution wise. But now, because this came out, and because we know that a non avian dinosaur did indeed have a cloaca, we can assume that they excreted uric acid and they did not urinate. I'm not saying
What
it's
the?
still not open for debate, but this is like, this is it. This
What
is a great.
is uric acid?
Uric
I went to
acid
art school. We both went to art school. Don't.
yeah, there was so much science of like dinosaur pee and cloacas and what happens when I was gonna dig into that and then I was like, why? It's like I don't want that. The public doesn't want that. Nobody wants that. Um, but yeah, uric acid is what um creatures who have cloacas excrete because it's like everything all at once.
uh,
Yeah, and it's a little bit more solid than urine, but
uh,
in case you wanted the viscosity of it,
no,
but
I didn't know what it was.
yeah,
So it's just bird shit.
pretty much. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty much what it was. If it was, they didn't know if it was urine or if it was something a little heftier.
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
Such a weird episode. But I thought that was so interesting. And I didn't realize I was really shocked at some of these inaccuracies in the show because I had grown up watching the show and I loved it. And I thought, like for example, I thought the Leopleurodon was absolutely massive for most of my life.
Why do I have a memory associated with this isn't like a question for
Hmm.
you. I have a memory from like deep childhood associated with the word Leopleurodon, and I'm guessing it's from some stupid internet meme video.
That's interesting. I really don't know.
But anytime you
But
say
it's your
Leopleurodon,
meme.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what? How did they? How did this show
That's fair.
exist?
What do you mean, how did this show exist? It
If
was
they,
groundbreaking.
what do you mean? It was obviously wrong about.
Well, some of it was wrong, but it was
Okay,
also like a really, you have to think this was 1999. There weren't like dinosaur documentaries coming out.
1999. I
There weren't
guess.
like, yeah, there wasn't. It also, I mean, I think that there wasn't a ton of really cool information that was being put out to the public in the
Really
form of
cool.
entertainment like that. Yeah.
Alright.
Cool, shut up. Yeah, so it was groundbreaking because not only, I mean, the CGI was cool, and at the time it was like really well done, and people were like, "Oh, this is so neat." But it was also really cool information, and even though some of it was inaccurate, it was obviously really memorable because a lot of people really enjoyed the show.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, the moral of this podcast episode is what?
Hmm.
Fucking paleontologists can shut the fuck up and like.
No! No! No, I think the moral of this. Why do we have to have a
No,
moral
no,
now?
I'm just saying, like,
Hmm.
if because you've come at this from both sides of this was
Yeah,
incorrectly
yeah.
produced, people were mad, and this was the greatest fucking show on the face of the planet,
It was the greatest show,
and
yeah.
people have no right to be mad. What,
Well, no. People can be mad, but go on, go on.
like, what, how can they, are they mad now?
Yeah, people are. They're
How?
well.
See,
I
no,
think that
that's what I don't get.
yeah.
Because
So
if it
that.
was made 22 years ago,
Mhm.
how how are you you're a scientist. You know things change.
Yeah.
Don't be a scientist.
Mhm.
You know?
Don't be a scientist.
It's
No, that's not the moral. That's not what we're leaving this on. No, the conclusion
damn it.
is that paleontology is ever evolving
The
and that it's always changing and we're
paleontologists are
gaining new
weak.
information every single day and we always have something to look forward to. And so, I think that even though
Two
this show
different fucking
has some
people.
inaccuracies,
We
I
are
think
two
that
different
that's so
people.
exciting because doesn't it show truly that we're learning each and every day and that there's so much that we still don't know about these magnificent creatures?
I can hear you laughing. Just laugh because you know that you're wrong.
I
I
really
mean,
mean it.
sure. We're learning about big lizard,
Mhm.
but also I think that there needs to be like a step away from I this show came out 22 years ago. I'm going to be mad today that they didn't put feathers on them and then made them pee.
Yeah, no, it's not like no, the things like the feathers and everything. Like there are some things that we look back on now and we're like, "Oh, that's kind of unfortunate that they didn't have that information." Um like Postosuchus standing on two legs or four, at the time that it was released, that information was being debated pretty heavily. So the show just kind of ran with whatever information they had at the time.
That's what you're supposed to
But
do.
yeah, exactly. But they did take some liberties, like with the Postosuchus peeing, um, because they just thought like, why not? And they were able to back it up. So
Isn't that
yeah.
like step one of the scientific fucking theory?
Hmm.
Is hypothesizing, theorizing, or whatever?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
why are
that's
they mad?
well because
Why are you booing me?
there's always
They're
there's
right.
always controversy in paleontology because there's so much that we don't
They're
know and anything
dead.
that we
They're
don't
literally
know.
bones. Just look for more. I get it's hard. I
Just
get that it's hard to look for
look
more.
for more.
I understand that it's hard to look for more because they're
Mhm.
not all there. But also,
Mhm. They're not all there, no.
pick your fights.
Yeah. Yeah, well that's the thing is some
I'm not
paleontologists
calling
think
you a
that
nerd for looking at bones. I'm calling you a nerd for fist fighting a dude that was like 22 years ago. Dinosaurs peed.
mhm. Yeah. Well
I
there
mean,
I
he
know.
was kind of a dip fuck about it too, but
Yeah.
she was like, big boy Michael coming at you. I don't remember.
Bentonyx.
Bentonyx. I discovered the Bentacycle for my
Mhm.
workout program, Bentonyx, and I think I'm right. You know, like I'm not. Whatever. He was also stupid, but there shouldn't be that much discourse in a, a, a like negative discourse.
Yeah, you know what?
You
No,
can
I
you
understand
can
what you're saying.
argue a
Yeah.
scientific whatever the fuck any day of the week.
Mhm.
Don't like walk into a press meeting and be like, "Hello, I am Bentonyx founder Michael." I don't.
Yeah.
Was his last name Bent what?
Mhm.
Bent what? Michael Bent what? And then be like, "My wife hates me, but also I am the strongest paleontologist on this planet, and I will arm wrestle you."
Create so much lore around Michael Benton. I'm so sorry. He's a real
Okay,
person.
I'm sorry to Bentonyx founder Michael, but like there needs to be like pick your fight. because this wouldn't be a undone podcast episode if this man didn't try to strong arm his way into being right.
Yeah.
You know, and I
Yeah.
think that stands for every industry on the planet.
That's true. That's
But
and in paleontology, it's so awful because I mean, there's just so much we don't know, and I think anytime that happens, people are going to be like, "Well, I have a theory," and then if they're able to back it up, like obviously someone is going to fight them on it. It was called Bentonyx. I
how big
looked it
was it?
up.
Was it like a small boy?
Um, I don't know. I don't know if they know how big it was because it was just like a skull that they found
Nice.
from the Middle Triassic period.
Does that mean regular small skull big body boys, or what is that time period of dinosaur lore look like?
Triassic. I'm not sure what existed in the Triassic period.
That's for
I
another episode.
It is.
Because we're almost out of time.
Yes. What a great episode. Throws my notes on the ground. It's fine.
I would like to formally apologize for making fun of Bentonyx founder. Sorry, I took the bit a little too far.
Oh my god. All right. Well, I guess I can wrap it up if you'd like me to.
I would like to end. You can end it, but I would like to end my bit with. Last time it was don't trust deer. This time it's don't trust the Bentonyx bike.
That's not it.
Um,
Thank you all for listening to all. Thank you for listening, whoever you are. Thank you for listening to Mystery Woman Knowledge Podcast. It's been great to have you tune in, and I hope that you've gotten something more out of this than Bentonics.